Most horrific murders to happen in the last decade in Southwest Florida is back in a courtroom today. Dr. Teresa Sievers was bludgeoned to death in her own home in 2015. Mark Sievers has been sentenced to death for orchestrating his wife's murder. In 2019, the court found Mark guilty of hiring two men to commit that murder. Now, though, he claims there's new evidence that wasn't presented at his trial, and his attorney didn't defend him effectively. Wink News anchor Annalise Iraola has spent the morning inside the courtroom. She joins us live from downtown Fort Myers now. Annalise?
Amanda, it's been a busy morning in court so far as the defense has called three witnesses to the stand. Kathleen Fitzgeorge, the attorney for Jimmy Rogers, one of the two men who Sievers is accused of hiring to murder his wife, Dr. Teresa Sievers. Also, Sievers' former attorney, Gregory Masori, who was brought onto the case later on as he was death penalty qualified. And also Sievers' former lead attorney, Michael Mumbert, whose qualifications have really been one of the main focuses so far this hearing. Mumbert and Antonio Fega were Sievers' lead attorneys during his defense in the 2019 trial. Once Fega died in 2018, it was only Mumbert representing Sievers. But Mumbert was not death penalty qualified. He had never tried a capital case at the time, and Sievers' defense has now focused on this lack of qualification during this evidentiary hearing. Kathleen Fitzgeorge, attorney for Jimmy Rogers, spoke about the separate defense teams for each suspect at the time of the trial.
We felt like we had a pretty solid defense in terms of, excuse me, Mr. Rogers' involvement or lack thereof. Mr. Rogers and Mr. Sievers didn't really know each other. I mean, they had met, whereas Mr. Wright and Mr. Sievers had been close friends for many, many years.
Rogers, who was a co-conspirator during Mark Sievers' trial, is also expected to possibly testify during this hearing. As far as any new evidence, we haven't heard much about that so far. I'm live at the Lee County Courthouse. Annalise Iraola, Wink News.
All right, thank you very much. I've covered this case since the murder in 2015. In my most recent interview with Dr. Teresa Sievers' sister, Annie Lee, says she made it clear she's deeply skeptical Mark Sievers will get a new trial.
As far as these three guys and whatever they're doing, they can just go do it because they're where they're supposed to be. And I think that they will continue to spin and kick and rant and gnash teeth and do whatever they have to do.
Jimmy Rogers thinks Mark is innocent.
Oh, and isn't that interesting that they might be helping each other? Because you know these guys figured out how to communicate, these little evil geniuses, right? So, yeah. Well, unfortunately for them, there is so much digital evidence that's just, it's irrefutable.
The hearing is still going on. We're going to keep you updated on air and on the Wink News app.